Hi, welcome to Base Editing with Dacy. Today I wanted to take a look at making complex items and trying to make that a little bit simpler for you, a little bit easier, especially if you have to make several of the same type of complex objects. So we're in my very complex, very large, um, it's a space base. If somebody who had a lot of money wanted to make a medieval type castle, but have it be entirely tech. So we've got guard towers, we've got the outer bailey, and this would be where the stable would be. So instead of a stable, we have little cruisers that go up to the shuttle dock, but they're also the teleporters, and they're labeled. So, and then you have the inner bailey, or the courtyard as it's also termed, and I'm in base edit mode right now, so I can go in between. This is the inside of the base, and then before I was up on the outside of the base. So inside the base, we have to look at it with all the various, I don't know what you call things, the placement markers for the various effects, but nice entry hall, stained glass window, fountain, and banquet hall, and a grand hall. Nice. I really like the chandeliers. I'm probably going to have to cut something out though. It might have to be one of the chandeliers at least. This space is a little bit too big and boggy at this point. I don't have too many items. I only have about close to 7,000, but I have a lot of effects, and those use up a lot more memory than the items do. So, how I made these stairs. Basically, you can see that the stairs come down, start out straight, then they angle in and come in to then go back out straight again. So this platform is a 90-degree angle to this stairway, but the stairs can come in at an angle, so I really only need about a 60-degree turn in between this platform and the top stair. So this is going to be 30 degrees from this, and then this is going to be 30 degrees from this, and 30 degrees from the bottom platform too. How I made the landings are simply short, like 4-step stairs. Just each of them is angled an appropriate number of degrees, and these are also tops of stairs. I might replace those with tables. I have the tables up here, university tables, and they're the same tone, but they do have a much broader, more noticeable grain. So I chose to use this finer grain of the stairs for this, but I might change that. So you notice also I have some floor tiles here. I use floor tiles all over the place, and this is why. Instead of trying to figure out the level for each of these individual short walls, I just put the floor tile in at the right level, and I can just place them. And then when I'm done on this side, I can move the tile over and do the other side so that both sides are exactly the same. When you are working with an editor like this where you don't have things that you can measure with accurately other than the snap angle and items, then you have to get kind of creative as to what you do to make things work out so that something comes out to be the same on both sides. So I use large items, and I use the floor tiles to keep my levels all the same. And if you go around the building outside, you'll see some of these floor tiles. Like over here, that's a floor tile for this level of tile, and then when I make another tower over here, I'll be using that same floor tile. Same with this. This is for this level of floor tile. Um, we've got, this is a floor tile that's right for, I believe it was for the ceiling. Nope, it's for the floor above the ceiling. And it's just underneath this wall, so it's for the floor that I laid. Because the ceiling are those bathroom floor tiles that I like to use. And their tile is hiding somewhere else. And then I've got this floor tiles just laid down here. So, oh, this is something I can't fly through. Yeah, my magic room has a stone ceiling, so you can't fly through those tiles, even in the editor. Um, so yeah, this is in a little magic room next to the library, which comes off of the back of the entry hall. And then there's a front parlor room with also, trophies and things like that. There's going to be a reception room over here. It's not done yet. Kitchen's in the far back. But anyway, so that is how I made the stairs, basically, using the angles and using the floor tiles to keep things symmetrical. And then this piece in here, because you can't get angled pieces very easily, this is a stall panel wall, if I say that right. And I use those for a lot of things, because they can be colored, because they're flat edges, and you can use them just basically all over the place. So let's go out and build the thing that I told you we were going to build. I have these guard towers, these turrets all over the place, and the front ones are shorter, and took a lot of time because of the turrets that I put in. I may change those because each of those is actually two bookcases face to face, so that you just see the backs of them. And they're the new tech style bookcases in tech. And they're great, and I love them, but they are a lot of pieces, and they have effects, so I might make them go. So this is the larger tower that I wanted to use. These are closer to the castle. And so we're going to put one of those together. And what I've done here is I've got these floor tiles, and each floor tile is marked with the piece that it's for, so that I don't forget, because sometimes it's a long time between each section that I'm working on before I get to the next, and I might forget how I put it together, and it just saves a lot of times because I have all these tiles, like I said, floating around, and I need to remember what each one is for. So this is all set up. For this tower, what this is here, these are tech ring platform quarters, so there's 4 for each level, and they have to be one set is upside down and one set's right side up. That's because it's a polygon where it's a one-sided polygon. So for this to have a ceiling, I have to put the ring in upside down. So I've got, this is the ring, the floor tile for the upside down ring. So to put this together, I just move this in here like this, and I move the rings in, and then I flip them upside down. I put the tile back because it jumped on me, and lay them down and maneuver them. Boy, the editor is not being nice to me today. It's just being rude. Okay, so put that back, and I would just be moving this so that it was, and I think I must have my grid on default. I just, move that into place so that it is where I want it to be. And usually I'd be on, for placing items like this, I'm usually on the quarter grid, because then I can do a fairly fine-tuned placement, but they still kind of lock together. I don't have to mess with getting the edges aligned quite as much. Then for the top pieces, I'd move over this floor pattern here and get it over the floor, and I'd go to tech, get tech pulled up here, and It's about halfway through. There it is. Okay. So I would just be able to place this, and each time I place the next one, of course, I'm going to have to right-click and flip it over. This mouse is not being super responsive. Well, actually, it's being a little too responsive, and so it's making life more difficult. And I just, click that like that. It doesn't look like it lined up exactly. No, it did not. A lot of times I will hold control to make sure it doesn't do something like it just did. But since I've got the floor here to keep it where I need it to be, I don't do that. So there it's lined up, and I can just keep doing that until that's filled in. And then I would put the item back. So again, I got it marked with this, so I know that's for this. It's also for this. This is the big center item. That is a new Praetorian Reactor 4. That's near the end of the Praetorian section. So there it is. So I'm just going to put that on the floor so it's at the right level, and then I'm going to hold control and slide it over. Now, yeah, I know that I haven't got all the quarter panels on there. I don't think you need to sit through all of that, so I'm just going to place this where it needs to go. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it'll fit. Oh, come on, mouse click. There we go. Alright, so yeah, it needs to move over just a little bit. You can see it's a little bit uneven. You can see the tech ring below it. I'm going to move around, and there, pretty much the tech, well, over here the tech ring is still a little bit exposed. Move it incrementally, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. I think I moved it too much, so no, that looks pretty good. Okay, so you get that in place, and then you look over here, and the next item I'd probably want to place would be this. I might even take this off and place these before I place this, but anyway, I'm going to put this in place, and these are Rit Key portals, and they are under Villain. Sometimes you just have to look through everything to make sure you're getting the piece that works the best for you. So I got these Rit Key portal frames, and basically I'm going to put this in the middle, and I'm going to judge the middle by the other pieces that I have placed. So this looks about like the middle, because here is this ring, and it goes right in the middle. See that? That's the middle point. This edge here is the middle. So I've got it pretty much right in the middle. So now I'm going to place another one, and I want it to be exactly in the same place as the first. And this is because I'm going to turn it, and I don't want them to be off-centered. And my mouse is refusing to place things. Okay, now I'm going to turn the angle snap, not the grid, hit the wrong button, angle snap to 45 degrees. And then I'm going to turn this using the Alt key and my mouse, turn it once. Alright? And then I'm just going to repeat that a total of 4 times. So when you see it kind of almost mesh like that, then you've got it turned the right amount. So now I've got 3 of these. I just need one more, and I don't need to turn this one because once I get it placed exactly, oh, I had it. See it? Still half of it's lit. There it is. I can turn it. I'm just going to place it, and then I'm going to turn it. No. I had the wrong one. There we go. There. So now I've got a dome. I got it just like this one. Okay? So now the next piece that I would use would be um, this piece, the arcane floor pattern. And when you put the arcane floor pattern under either water or the old style glass, it does neat things like it's doing over here. But you can't, you know, there aren't any pieces of glass that are big enough to cover this, so I have to use water. And I would rather use something else, but water isn't quite what I'm going for here. But okay, so I'm going to put that in here just about like that. That looks pretty centered. And then I'm going to change the coloring. Check and see if it matches the other color. Yep, it does. This little box didn't move. And now I can take a fountain. And again, I don't have to go over and place it and then move it. I can just get it to that level, hold control, and then slip it into place over here. The biggest problem with this is that I do not have a floor right under it, and so it's just a little bit harder to get it to behave. So there's that effect. And then to fill in, because I've got the edges of this reactor, you see it's got a see-through top because it's a one-sided polygon. So what I'm going to do to fill that in is this Roman fountain base, which is in statues. I would just get one of those, and using the edges of the Praetorian reactor, I would get that lined up. And then if you want to, you can mess with, try and get the edges lined up exactly. This is pretty good. It's pretty much where I need it to be, but I'm not sure because you've got slight little, it's not perfectly round, you've got slight little straight edges here on both the Praetorian reactor and the Roman fountain. And you might be able to get them to line up a little bit better, and maybe yes, maybe no. I remember messing with it and it wasn't really worth it, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And that's pretty much how you would do something. Now for the base of this, I used tech skylights, and to line them up to know where they went, I used the base, the tech ring platform, and I just made sure that the skylights all stayed in that circle. It helped make the circle. It was kind of the form for that. So I don't need to leave this here. I would move it over there then to make the next tower. So that is basically how I've gone and done each of these towers and how I'm doing these walls and so forth. So I just use the floor tiles to help me keep things and make things so much faster, because I don't have to figure out what level it's at. I can just use the floor tiles because they're already there. I hope that has helped. Here we've got some pieces that I've marked to use for the walls and so forth, so I can keep the walls all the same height. I hope this has helped, and I hope that your base building is going well. That's all for now. Thanks for listening. Bye!